Okay, welcome back everyone, Zaf here. I am beyond pumped for the brand new weapon, a fire SSR, but not a damage dealing weapon. It is a support weapon, the fan of the fire demon. Honestly, the effects it provides, the breaks, the power gauge bonuses, the skill damage, the core damage, this gives us so many bonuses we need. I'll cover it all with you because this truly opens up a world of wonders when it comes to our fire damage, that being on jinwoo, giving us a lot of new potential in that category. So let me just cover with you, let's review it, that we know for a fact whether or not you should be summoning for this weapon that is releasing very soon. But first off, thank you everyone for letting us reach the 15,000 supporter mark. If you haven't supported us yet, the link is down below. It is free. When you support, wait a few hours and then I can send you a bunch of redeemable codes you can use in the game, like these codes right here. You will receive 1, 2, 3, 4 codes, the ones listed here, for gold, for essence zones, for SSR weapon designs, trace the shadow, and more. So make sure you support. This is what it looks like when you support. When you go to the My Page section, so this button right here, press it to the top right, press My Page, and then my name should pop up, and you scroll down. After a few hours, receive benefits, all the codes will be down here, so do enjoy. We get more codes coming out very soon, so that's why you should support, so you never miss out on all the free goodies. And one more reason to support us is because on our Discord server, I do have giveaways for supporters for $100, $200, $300 right now, so make sure you join, that way you don't miss out on all those juicy free giveaways. And lastly, a big shout out to you for your first comment to our last video. Here's your shout out and enjoy that exclusive Season 7 first commenter Discord role. And a shout out to our top supporters too. We have Soul Level, we have Hertz, we have some NIDs, we have The Gains, we have Shenzai, Diablo Jesse. Thank you all for being our supporters, it means so much. But also in the comments, let me know, will you summon for the weapon regardless? Because honestly, when I heard a fan was coming out, I was expecting a bit more. Although the weapon does look cool, I was hoping it would look like Madara's fan is War Fan. Honestly, could you imagine jinwoo wielding a weapon like this? Oh baby, it will look so good. But instead we got an actual fan, which is fine, looks cool. But let me know if your expectations were different too, because yeah, Madara Uchiha wrapping this fan on jinwoo would look so amazing, but it is what it is. So just to give you confirmation, the fan of the fire demon will be revealed after the Thursday reset. So on the 23rd is when it comes out, and I will summon for it, of course. I'll show you what the weapon is like, how to use it, what the effects are like, what they do. We'll summon for it all the way to A5. It'll cost a lot of summons, trust me, but I'll do it for you, no problem. Don't sweat it. It is a problem for me though, summoning for these weapons, because if we jump into my weapons here for my summons, let me just show you really quick. When it comes to draw, if we go to not this, to custom, we have a lot of summons, but we don't have too many options when it comes to summonable characters. That goes for this as well. Our weapon custom draws, there's just not too many weapons left for me to summon towards. I believe I have a few copies of Vulcan's Rage just sitting around, so there's literally only 2 weapons I can't summon towards. So I am in a pickle, but don't worry, I'll also summon for it. I don't mind if I waste my summons, that way you know if the weapon is good, so you don't waste your summons, of course. So let's jump back into the weapon, because honestly speaking, the world that opens up for jinwoo and future combos are insane. I do want to show the A5 bonus really quick, because if you go down, you can see at the A5 mark, we get an instant core gauge start at 100% when we enter a stage, which is obviously good because this weapon does break right off the bat. If I show you this effect right over here, the A0 bonus, when you use the weapon skill and your core gauge is 100%, the Fire Flower skill, that being this skill right here, gets a brand new effect added on. And let me show the preview. These skills look pretty cool, so this is the weapon skill. Looks sick if you ask me, giving a very cool effect. It does take a while to resolve, but still, looks awesome. Here's the basic attack, not too clunky, pretty smooth if you ask me. And here's the core attack, pretty smooth as well overall, giving us some nice skill effects, animations, looking crisp. The devs always do a good job when it comes to the animations in this game. It's like a AAA game we can get for free. Well, you know, there's gacha elements, but let's go back to the weapon here. So when your power gauge is at the 100% mark, we get a brand new effect, that being the fleeting youth and beauty. The damage and the mana consumption is the same, but you get a heavy break added on to the skill. And also one more thing here that I'm not too sure about. It says when the user's attack pierces a target, there is an explosion of searing flame that damages a target. I wonder, it's just the base skill right here. As you can see, when we use the skill, it activates explosion effect, boom. I'm assuming that's what it is. Otherwise, it might be an additional effect, giving us more damage, but It isn't listed on the weapon skill itself, so we'll see. Once we get it, I'll test out the A0 to see how that works out, but anyways, the heavy break is added on also. If you use either of the skills, the boosted skill or the original skill, if we go down here, you can see we get a bonus, increases fire damage by 3%, and also your mana recovery rate goes up by 5% too, and I'll talk about the mana recovery on this weapon shortly. The duration is for 60 seconds, which is a pretty long time, stacking up to 6 times. Overall, a nice bonus. That means we get an 18% fire damage increase, and also our mana recovery goes up by 30%. Overall, not too bad for an A0 weapon. As we go down, the A1 is pretty good too, but I do want to mention a trick that I can't see happening with the A0 on the weapon. So if we go to our skills, very important, for jinwoo, we have some fire skills we can use with this weapon. Most importantly, this one right here, that being Sonic Stream, does charge up our core gauge by 100%, meaning we do have a pretty good opportunity when we use the skill, but also it gives us a core attack damage increase by 240%, which is very, very good when it comes to our Phoenix Soul. But this bonus here means we can basically break targets really fast, if you think about it. Because remember, when it comes to this weapon, at the A5 mark, our core gauges increase by 100% when we spawn in. That means we can basically break the boss pretty quickly. We can ensure core gauge comes up fast. That way, when we do have a skill available, we can just spam our heavy breaks, no problem. Honestly, not a bad effect, allowing us to break the target quite fast, but I'm assuming that we won't need to use it twice. But if a battle does need a lot of break, this weapon is going to be very good for it, as long as they're weak to fire, of course, giving us heavy break whenever we need it. Pretty darn good. But I do want to go back down. Let's cover the A1 bonus. It's pretty darn good too. When using their fire break skill, the user and their team members gain one initial instance of the butterflies and blooms effect. This effect right here, that stacks up to 6 times, so going back down. When either of the skills hit, they inflict the high fever effect on target, which gives us, oh my goodness, jinwoo's fire damage increases by 50% when the target has the high fever effect. The user also regains 10% of their mana one time when they hit a target with the high fever effect, and this stacks up to 1 times 8-second duration. That is insane. A 50% fire damage increase. I can't believe it. Just at the A1 mark, A2 very simple, 10% fire damage increase, but at the A3 mark, when the butterflies and blooms effect has stacked 6 times, the maximum stacks, it activates the fire demon effect, and only activates for jinwoo, of course. And as you go down, removes all instances of the effect, and prevents the user from gaining more, but increases the user's fire damage and mana recovery by 50%, increases the crit rate of the user's core skill by 30%, and also the crit hit damage of the user's fire core skill by 120%. But also, when the user uses their fire basic skill, they gain super armor for 4 seconds, consuming mana though, 5% of user's mana every 3 seconds, so caveat, that's why this weapon does have so much mana regen because of the effect right here, but overall, it should be enough to be self-sufficient. But at the A3 mark, this weapon starts to get crazy. Super armor, massive gains, massive skill damage, massive crit rate, crit damage on the A2 mark. I can't believe it. This is insane, and the duration is infinite. I don't even know what to say, but also look at this. If the user currently has 20% or less of their maximum mana, it removes this effect. So that's why we do have to watch our mana. 20% is hard to reach. This weapon does have a ton of recovery, so we should be fine overall, but still, keep an eye out on it. That's why this weapon has so much mana recovery on it, to make sure that we don't end up hitting this mark here, otherwise we are boned. But let's go down the A4 mark, 20% cooldown reduction, beautiful, that's exactly what we want. And at the A5 mark, like I mentioned, the user's core gauge starts out charged to 100% when they enter a stage. When all the user's equipped weapons are fire weapons, their fire damage increases by 50%. And one more, when the user uses a fire attack, while the fire demon effect is active, they recover 10% of their mana. This is one crazy weapon. Honestly, I don't want to be rude, but the weapon itself does not do itself justice because it doesn't look daunting enough. If you watch Naruto, I was kind of hoping for a Madara-like fan, the one we saw, where he uses the Uchiha reflection, but anyways, I was hoping for a weapon like that. That would be so much cooler, but still, this weapon works. The buffs it provides are insane, let me tell you. I do truly believe this will be a meta-defining weapon that we have to summon for, especially when paired with our best fire weapon, yes, the Orb of Avarice. I'm just joking. The Phoenix Soul, one of the best weapons in the game, now becoming even better, getting so much core attack damage bonuses, crit damage increases, fire damage increases, every type of damage increase from that weapon. It is a must to pair with the Phoenix Soul. That fan is going to blow the enemies away while we shoot them with our Phoenix Soul. I am impressed. The devs did an amazing job crafting a weapon that does look amazing on paper. We'll see how it works out in the actual battle modes, but don't worry, I'll test it out, I'll summon it for you, I'll sacrifice my juicy summon. So make sure, if you haven't yet, to subscribe, drop a like, make sure, leave a comment. Do you plan on getting the weapon or not? Very curious, but that is essentially it for today's video. Just wanted to go over the brand new weapon I will be summoning for in a few days. That way we can see just how overpowered it is. But on that note, that's all for you today. Make sure you support us as well. The link is down below. That way I can send you all these juicy codes that you will miss out on otherwise. On that note, this is your Code King Zaf signing out.